Hey, Pretty Girl Club. So today I want to talk about this whole Jodie Turner-Smith thing. So I already predicted the demise of their relationship because if you look at the story of how they got together, this guy basically catcalled her at a party like a Dusty, and then she turns around and proposes to him and then gets pregnant by him, but then she does not get her bags in the midst of a divorce after he has cheated on her multiple times and had a history of cheating with the previous women he was with. And this is just another big, gigantic L for the divesting community because it's like just because someone is white does not mean that they are going to treat you well. Just because he's white doesn't mean he's right. How you like them apples? Okay? I've noticed that sometimes in the divestment community there can be a lack of vetting, but it's like, no, dust comes in all shades. Dust comes in white men, it comes in Asian, it comes in Latin American, it comes in any group that you can think of. There are dusties, there are predators, there are cheaters and liars, and this guy is obviously one of them. But you know what I would have been doing if I were Jodie? I would be walking around like a chocolate goddess and I'd be walking on someone's runway. That's what I would be doing. And I think that's what Jodie needs to be doing right now. She needs to be walking down runways, wearing evening gowns, getting more acting roles instead of worrying about this dusty, lying, Chuck Norris looking, cheating dude. And this is what I talk about when I am mentioning the difference between women who have an inferiority complex versus women who truly do believe that they are beautiful and they're able to gain pretty privilege simply because of their mindset. Jodie, unfortunately, does not have that mindset. She does not view herself as a prize. She does not view herself as someone that is worthy of better treatment, obviously. And it's really sad that that's that way, but I said from the beginning, this relationship should not be praised because this is not a high value relationship. So why is no one in the Black empowerment space? Why didn't anybody talk about this 2 years ago or 1 year ago? I was the only one in the women's empowerment space speaking on this subject about how we should not be so codependent on guys and how we shouldn't assume that because a guy is white that he's automatically some sort of high value male. But ladies, let this be a cautionary tale because Jodie Turner-Smith is an example of what happens when you center men. This is what happens when you center men. You get cheated on, you get lied to, and you end up having to divorce, and then you end up, unfortunately, becoming a single mother. And then in her case, she's not even getting spousal support or anything like that. So she didn't gain anything financially. Career-wise, I didn't see her career really go up that much since being with this guy at all. Actually, I think he kind of hindered her a little bit or kind of tarnished her reputation by poking fun of how she proposed to him and kind of bragging about it almost. I don't know. This guy, he just gives dust. He gives me Dusty vibes from the 5 o'clock shadow to the way that he brags about being proposed to by a woman as opposed to him being the one who chooses the woman and says, hey, I want to propose to you. But I digress. This is what happens when you just want anything that is whiter and lighter than you. And it's funny think about how if this would have been a black male with a white woman, people would say he's a colorist, racist, texturist, featurist. But when it's a dark-skinned, unambiguous black woman with a white male, oh, it's nothing. It's not a big deal. No one talks about colorism, texturism, or featurism when an unambiguous black woman only wants to date someone lighter than her, which is usually the case, by the way. I've noticed that nobody talks about that. No one talks about how most unambiguous dark-skinned black women want to date a guy who is lighter than them, whether he's a biracial, mixed-race guy, light-skinned guy, or a non-black guy. Most unambiguous dark-skinned black women, they don't want to date an unambiguous dark-skinned black man. That means that by default, they want to date either a lighter-skinned man, a mixed-race man, or someone who is not even black at all. Yet, if I call that out and I say that that's colorist, texturist, and featurist and anti-black, well, now I'm being racist. So holding someone accountable when they are perpetuating a double standard makes me racist, even though blackness is still a part of me? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I've noticed that if you are a MLS person, everyone wants to either date or create you. Think about that for a second. They want to either date you or create you. So Either someone wants to date a person who looks like you and has your phenotype, or they want to marry someone outside of their race and create a multiracial person just like you. Yet we're mediocre. There are millions of people creating us. We are the fastest growing community in the world, yet we are somehow mediocre? No, we're obviously not mediocre if people are going out of their way to create us by racial mixing all the time. So you can't go and create mixed people and then be racist against mixed people, and then tell mixed people that they're too dark to be mixed, and then perpetuate colorism against mixed people, and then perpetuate texturism and featureism against mixed people. I don't have time for it. We don't have time for that here in the Pretty Girl Club, okay? We are too busy getting our exotical tax. We're too busy getting our bags and leveling up mentally, physically, and spiritually. So we don't have time for this dust. And I really wish Jodie Turner Smith would do the exact same thing and just say, hey, you know what? I don't have time for it. I'm moving on. Give me my spousal support. I'm out. I really hope she does that. And I hope that she goes and walks on some runways and gets some more acting roles, because if I were in her position, what I would be doing right now, I would start a whole business for unambiguous dark-skinned black actresses and say, hey, this is how I became an actress. Do you want to join my course? Do you want to follow me? Do you want to follow my Instagram or like watch my live streams and stuff while I talk about how I audition, how I get into character, how I do the makeup and the hair? How do I style my hair for auditions? How do I take care of my makeup when I'm on set? That's what I would be doing if I were Jodie Turner Smith. I would be out living the soft life, doing my passion of acting or creating films or whatever it is I want to do. I wouldn't be worried about some dusty Chuck Norris looking ass cheating dude. I would not be worried about that whatsoever. I would be putting on cocoa butter and walking around with my smooth chocolate skin, and I would be flipping my hair in people's face, or I would be flipping my afro in his face as I walk out the door. That's what I would be doing if I were Jodie Turner Smith. But who am I? I'm just a regular, mediocre exotical, so... Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.